Chapter 3, Marcel. Of course she lives in Venice Heights. It's the first thing to run across my mind as I pull into the driveway of Mrs. Moore's house. Most of my business has come from this exact neighborhood, and though they have been good to me, the demand here is off the charts. With every new resident, it means I get an email or phone call to set something up, and oftentimes they want it done in an unreasonable time frame. While I appreciate the business, it's making it a lot harder to wind down my residential work to become more commercial based. Ward Landscaping is growing, has been ever since I opened it in 2014, where I got my big start working solo on a home for the governor, who needed a last-minute job before a big outdoor party. His backyard was ruined due to a tropical storm, so he looked up local landscapers, called, and then booked me. He couldn't thank me enough for the work I did, and had even recommended me to all of his friends, most of whom wanted residential work. I've been on good ground ever since. I kill the engine of my truck and step out, taking a thorough look around. The front yard isn't too bad, and the driveway is appealing. The bushes and flowers in front of the house are well kept, which is a given for newer homes. After collecting my notebook and laptop, I walk up the steps and give the door a knock. It doesn't take long for the door to be answered. A young lady swings it open, a big smile on her face. Her eyes are wide and green, not a trace of makeup on her face. Her curly, dark brown hair is pulled up into a messy bun and she's wearing a long-sleeved white shirt. Her hands are covered in a bunch of chalky-looking shit, as well as her clothes. Her smile slowly falls as she focuses on me, like I'm the last person she expected to show at her doorstep. Hi. She's mildly confused. You're Mr. Ward? Yes, ma'am, I am. I take a step back. And you're Mrs. Moore? I am, she responds, a slight pep in her voice. She extends her arm to offer a hand, but obviously realizes they're dirty because she yanks it away just as quickly. I'm sorry. I was upstairs working on a sculpture. Please, come in. I'll wash my hands and we can get started. Nodding, I follow behind her, watching as she hustles toward the kitchen, which is in plain view from the door, due to the open layout. I'm sorry about the mess. She calls out, I think I mentioned to you that we've just moved in. My husband will break down the boxes and take them out when he gets back. Not a problem. I enter the kitchen, looking at the large 4-top table set up by double doors. Okay to sit here? Yeah, go right ahead, she urges, scrubbing her hands in the sink. She rinses and dries them off as I place my laptop and notebook on the table. Wish I had more time, Mrs. Moore, but I'll have to make this a quick visit. The job I'm headed to needs me there for an early meeting. Oh, no problem at all. She smiles, turning for the fridge and pulling out a bottled water. Can I get you anything to drink at least? Sure, I'll take one of those bottles of water you're having. She hands one to me with a small smile, then pulls out the seat across from mine. So, before we actually get into the details, can I take a look at the backyard? Oh, yes, it's right this way. She rushes to the double doors to my right. I follow her lead as she unlocks them and pushes one of the doors open. She steps out of my way and I walk out, giving it a hard sweep. It's pretty spacious. I laugh. I know, but to be fair, I want a small patio space. Just enough for a few people to sit, stand, or whatever. I'd like to still keep some of my grass out there, in case I decide to get a dog or something, you know? I love dogs. I get you. I take another step out, studying the bushes that skirt the yard. Pulling my cell phone out, I take a few pictures to have on hand. It's a great view, though. Beach right there. I see why you'd want to have a comfortable spot out here too. Yeah. This would really make it the dream home we envisioned having. Well, let's go inside and talk it over, Mrs. Moore. Oh, man. You know what? Mrs. Moore sounds really weird, so just call me Gabby, she laughs, walking in behind me and shutting the door. Very well, Miss Gabby. She laughs at that. I smirk, sitting and opening my notebook. Don't mind it. It's a natural habit. Everyone is Mr. or Miss where I'm from. Where are you from exactly? She asks. I noticed how heavy your accent was on the phone yesterday. Caught me by surprise, she laughs. It's obviously from somewhere around here, right? Yep. Born and raised in Summerville, South Carolina. Spent most of my adulthood there before moving to Hilton a couple years ago. Oh. That's nice. And what about you? Seems like you're from upstate. I'm hearing a slight accent from you too. Oh, yeah. Born in Albany, New York. Lived there until I was 7, Then we moved to Fredericksburg, Virginia. Interesting. And now you're here? Where I lived, it always rained or snowed, especially in New York. Needed a change of scenery. She smiles and shrugs. Apparently, she loves doing that. Smiling, that is. Mama always told me people who are always smiling are usually the ones hiding the biggest secrets. But that's none of my business. For all I know, she's just a regular woman, happy to be in her new home. Probably married to some rich, arrogant prick like all the rest of the women in this neighborhood. Either way, not my problem. Well, let's discuss what you're looking for. I open my laptop and go to my pricing sheet, then pull the pen from behind my ear, uncapping it and writing down her last name on the top of the paper. I have a variety. Anything you have in mind that you really want back there? I actually drew a quick sketch of what I wanted. Maybe this will help? She stands and walks to the counter behind her, grabbing a white sheet of paper and sliding it across the table. I look over it as she speaks again. A blueprint of the backyard is beneath it. I know for sure that I want a hot tub. Since we have the beach, I don't really care to have a pool. I also want a full patio with a built-in fire pit. Also, big flower beds to go around it, to give it a little life and lots of color. I place her design down to write everything she just said, nodding. She continues, maybe built-in seating where people can sit, in case we don't have enough chairs for everyone. I give a little laugh at that. What's funny? She inquires. Nothing. I finish writing the last thing she mentioned. No, tell me, she says with a small laugh. Well, I'm trying to figure out who you think can create so much within a 4-week time frame is all, Miss Gabby. These projects take time. I would need at least 6 weeks for yours alone. Oh. Her face falls. So it can't be done? She unleashes a sad sigh. It can. It's more of a risk for the business, if anything. In order to finish it, I'd have to have my men working overtime to get it ready in time for the housewarming you mentioned. Not only that, but I'll most likely have to work with them to give an extra hand and to make sure everything is running smoothly. I have a different crew for the spa and bar. My landscaping crew would handle the patio and groundwork. Would you be willing to give the extra hand? I put on a smile. I don't deny many jobs, Miss Gabby. Especially one like this, when it means so much to someone so bright-eyed. Bright-eyed? She guffaws, propping her folded arms on top of the table. What exactly is that supposed to mean? Just means this is exactly what you said it is. It's your dream home. You're proud of it, and it's my job to make sure you have the backyard you've always dreamed of having. I see. She grins, looking hopeful again. The only issue I'm seeing with you is the time frame, and that'll determine whether I can take this project on or not. I need at least 8 weeks due to this commercial job I'm running at the moment. Once that's over, I can focus on your project a bit more. If you can give me just a little bit of a stretch, I can definitely squeeze it in for you. Her lips twist. Well, I haven't told anyone when we would be doing the housewarming, so I can work around your schedule. Exactly what I'd hoped to hear. We can't rush these kinds of projects. If you hadn't given me leeway, I would have had to refer you to someone else. I understand. Her olive eyes shimmer. I lower my gaze to my laptop. Well, the package I would suggest to you is our movers package. This package includes a nice 20% discount for recent movers, and also includes installation of the patio space, a walkway, shrubbery and trees to shade the area, 2 full-sized flower beds and the option of a hot tub or half-sized pool. You mentioned a built-in fire pit with seating and a wet bar, but that will cost you a little more. How much more? Can you give me the total for all of it? Sure you'll be able to handle the number I'm about to give? She folds her arms. Throw it at me. For all of it, you're looking anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000, depending on what appliances you want at the wet bar and whether you want built-in seating there as well. Holy shit. She lowers her gaze, nodding. Well, I have about 10 grand saved. If it's more, I can always ask my husband to cover the rest of it, if he likes the idea. Wait a minute. I hold a hand up. You haven't spoken to your husband about this? She locks on my eyes. We've talked about getting a landscaping company, but I'm really only supposed to be looking. What can I say? I like to take initiative. She smiles sheepishly. I was hoping I could surprise him. I'm paying for some of it with money I've saved. Just want to do something nice around here, take the load off of him. A silence sweeps over the kitchen table. Her gaze stalls on mine. I tell you what, I shift in my chair, straightening my back. I'll add in the fire pit and seating with a package so you can get the discount. That way all you'll really have to worry about is the wet bar and hot tub. Her eyes light up. Oh, Mr. Ward, you really don't have to do that. I can reconsider the fire pit and seating. It's really not a big deal. I can just get more chairs if I need to. I hold up a hand. No. My job is to make sure you're happy, Miss Gabby. You've just moved in, looking to be happy here, right? She nods and sighs. Okay, then. Don't think too much of it. If you really want that built-in seating and fire pit, I'm more than willing to fit it into your budget. She gives me a relieved smile. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So, how much would it be total? For everything, including construction costs, I estimate about 18 grand plus tax. I offer payment plans as well, if you need them. Okay, great. A payment plan would be amazing. If everything works out, the budget shouldn't change too much, I tell her. Great. She chimes as I write down the package and features she wants added. And when do you think you can start? Next week I'm full, but the week after, I'm all yours. Good. She stands with me. I'm really glad to hear that. Yep. I'll get everything taken care of and come up with a few designs for you. When I have them ready, I'll email them and let you take a look at a few layouts, see which one works best for you. Okay, great. I pack up my things, tucking the laptop and notebook beneath my arm and pushing the chair in. I suggest you fill your husband in about this upcoming project, though. Last thing a working man wants is to come home and hear construction noises in his backyard. She follows me to the front door. I swing it open, walking out. I'll let him know when he gets home. All right then, Miss Gabby. It was nice meeting you. I'll email you in a few days with those designs. Awesome. Thank you for squeezing me in, Mr. Ward. Mr. Ward? I shake my head, walking down the steps. Call me Marcel. Formalities don't suit a man like me. With that, I turn and walk to my truck, opening the door and hopping behind the wheel. Gabby stands on her porch, watching me go. I bring the engine to life and leave the driveway. On my way out, I look through the rearview mirror. She's turning to go back inside, and of course I notice her ass before the door shuts. There were a lot of things I noticed about her. The freckles that dotted her umber skin. The spark in her olive green eyes. How carefree she acted, but deep in her eyes, there was a lot of concern. The move had obviously been too much for her, and she was coping with it by creating a backyard. That, or she was worried about doing this whole ordeal without her husband's consent. Didn't matter. Wasn't my problem. Money was money. She was a client now, and if building this was what she was requesting, so be it. Though my life has been a wreck, it doesn't mean I can't make someone else's a little more tolerable.